Today, I want to issue a call to action in support of a particular group of those unsung heroes, Alberta's truck drivers. Yesterday, I drove on the QE2 from Calgary back to Edmonton. Car traffic was light, but I saw dozens of trucks going north and south on that key artery of Alberta's economy. Every one of those semi-trailers was carrying the essentials we need: food, pharmaceutical supplies, medical equipment, fuel, agricultural products, inputs needed for the upcoming seeding in our farms, and all the other products needed to provide the daily essentials of our lives and just basically keep our society functioning. And so on behalf of the government and the people of Alberta, I want to salute and thank those truck drivers for all that they are doing under trying circumstances during this pandemic. And I want to call on all Albertans, let's all find some way to acknowledge and to thank the truck drivers without whom we could not continue to function, without whom our supply lines would be compromised. So when you go to a grocery store and see that most everything is in stock, it's thanks to those truck drivers who continue to work around the clock. Because of COVID-19, many restaurants, hotels, and rest stops along our highways are struggling with reduced income and employee shortages, which has forced some of them to curtail operations or even to shut down. With the recent closure of sit-down operations in restaurants, part of the necessary efforts to control the spread, of course, many restaurants have switched to drive-through or delivery-only options. That's a challenge for large trucks that obviously can't access drive-through lanes. And for the drivers, it limits their access to washrooms as well. These drivers are working long hours away from home on long-haul trips. We need to keep them fed, fueled, and rested. Some restaurants have stepped up and made changes to their operations to make their establishments more accessible to truck drivers, and I want to in particular thank McDonald's Canada for their initiative implementing curbside delivery using their wireless app. I've written to the CEO of that company thanking them for this initiative and for making their restrooms available in many cases for truckers. Some Tim Hortons locations have provided similar options for long-haul truckers. I also want to note that the Alberta Motor Transport Association website is providing comprehensive, up-to-date information about which restaurants, hotels, and rest stops are operating their hours and the services that they're able to provide. I'm also pleased to report that Alberta Transport has reopened almost all of their roadside rest stops. Unfortunately, early on in the pandemic, we saw people going in multiple times a day raiding the sanitary supplies in those washrooms. So I ask people, please show some basic decency and some basic consideration. Don't do stupid things like that just make life harder for our truckers to keep us supplied all across Alberta society. So we're trusting people just to show some decency in reopening those rest stops. Today, I'm also calling on restaurants to temporarily allow heavy truck and long-haul drivers to walk up to the drive-through window to place their order and allow them access to washrooms. I've written to the presidents of all the major fast-serve chains in Canada, as well as Restaurants Canada, on that regard. This will maintain our COVID-19 physical distancing protocols while ensuring truckers can stay on the road. I've written a letter, as I say, and we look forward to response from all of those restaurant chains. I can also report that in the, I think probably on Friday, the Minister of Transportation will be releasing a series of measures to, in the short term, relax some of the rules that are inhibiting the long-haul truckers from operating and while maintaining, of course, public safety on the roads.